What's up, everyone? Welcome back for another fantastic week of NHL regular season hockey. We got, 5-6 weeks left in the regular season here? Final 20-game stretch, and we're going to see a clear delineation from this point forward between, okay, these teams are just completely out of it. What the hell does this game mean? What am I taking when the Arizona Coyotes play the Anaheim Ducks 2 weeks from now? Is somebody like, you gotta take the Ducks to win tonight? I can really feel it. Oh, yeah, is that what you really feel? But then on the flip side, you got like a couple games tonight. Eastern Conference seeding is on the line. These are 4 of the top teams in the East playing each other, and every single shift matters. Every point matters. Everything matters. But then you're going to have teams who are completely out of it, so it's going to be a funny dichotomy. Obviously, the hockey guy in me tries to pick everything that's the closest to real hockey. Fake hockey, that's probably where I'll try to focus my ruckus attention on, because when you got nothing to play for, those games are probably likely to go crazier. But as you see on this slate tonight, we have 2 games of 2 teams playing each other, top teams in the East, although they are in separate divisions. You're talking about 4 teams who could potentially, if the end of the season goes their way, be the 1 seed in the... I mean, they're all vying, technically, for the President's Trophy. So where I'm going to start is looking at those 2 games. We got the Rangers. They're hosting the Florida Panthers. Last week, I brought to your attention, Florida, they hadn't conceded more than 2 goals in over a month, almost a month and a half. Then they gave up 3 to Montreal. I thought over the weekend, maybe that was a sign of things to come. Maybe you can't just play tight hockey all year from the midpoint of the season on. But sure enough, what do? They go out there into Detroit and shut them out. And Detroit have been scoring a ton of goals. And then on the other side, you got the Rangers, who post All-Star break, Igor Shesterkin, I was about to call him Henrik Shesterkin, is playing in his top Vezina-level form from 2 seasons ago. And it's helped the Rangers continue to accrue points, and he's not been easy to score on. So I think you know where I'm heading with this one. You got one team who plays vicious playoff-style defense all the time. My cats like to play D all the time, play D all the time, play D all the time. And it feels good because I was cursing at them 2 years ago. You can make changes, people. Are you doing something in your life that you're really not happy with? Maybe like, oh my God, I never read. I'm never going to read. Every year, my New Year's resolution is to read more, and I never do it.
Kid can't even read.
Well, the Florida Panthers never used to play defense, and they weren't tough, ever. They change things around. You can change things around. It's not too late. You see, this is an inspirational show. Cue Joel Osteen, cue Tony Robbins, and let's get on to my pick for the game, which is the under 6.5 between the Florida Panthers and the New York Rangers. You combine the way that the Panthers play defense, combine that with the way Shesterkin is playing in net. I just think this is a great witch's brew to concoct an under. I mean, there are a lot of talented players on this ice, but you know the Rangers are going to have to earn everything versus the Panthers. And you know that the Rangers are going to be getting great goaltending from Shesterkin. That early season bad form looks like it's far in the rear view from this point. So give me the under 6.5 for the Florida Panthers. And, you know, if I think it's going to be of a lower scoring variety, I'm going to do an under 1.5 parlay. I'm going to take Matthew Tkachuk under 1.5 points, and I'm going to take Artemi Panarin under 1.5 points. I feel better about the Matthew Tkachuk because they have that stacked top line of Barkov, Verhaeghe, and Reinhart, and then they got Tkachuk on that second line. So you're really looking at the accruing most of the points on the power play, but under 1.5, I kind of like that. And Panarin, I'm just trusting the Florida Panthers to continue to do what they do. Maybe he gets 1. I'm hoping he doesn't get 2. That would be a plus money parlay right there for that game. Now, the other one, I feel like you can get on board for that one. I feel like you guys can get on board for that one. It's when I got to start negotiating with you. No, I think this one could be as well. And this is the Boston Bruins and the Toronto Maple Leafs. You're talking about 2 teams in the division, still vying for playoff positioning. Boston had an extremely embarrassing weekend. against the New York Islanders. How much money did the New York Islanders just rob NHL sports bettors of? Detroit was completely hot, crushing everyone. Islanders go into Detroit and beat them. Then the Islanders play Boston. Everybody's probably putting their house on Boston because the Boston was like minus 125, which is always them winking at you. Don't take it. And the Islanders destroyed them on their own home ice. Now Boston's going to Toronto. And the one thing, 2 division opponents, I really don't care who they are, where points are going to be at a premium. I'm taking the under 6.5 in this one as well. You know you're going to get the good defensive effort from the Bruins. You know you're going to get pretty good goaltending from the Bruins. The question is, what's Toronto going to do on their side defensively? And I don't mind how they've been playing, and they've been getting better goaltending recently. Not like early season goaltending. As we get toward the end of the year, you guys are starting to see when you have 2 teams in a meaningful game, goals aren't easy to come by. Just look over the weekend at that Detroit-Florida game. You thought goals would have been flying in, right? It just doesn't really work that way once you got 2 teams vying for playoff positioning. And then in this Toronto game, I'll try to whip up a player prop for you. John Tavares, off the top power play, off the top 2 lines. He's floating on their third line, and his ice time is down from earlier in the year when he was eating up those top 6 minutes. So if he's off that top power play, and you know that they're a top power play that eats up 90 seconds, 100 seconds of time, and he's not playing with any of the other core 4 dynamic playmakers. Now, I guess that can all change throughout the course of a game if a game isn't going their way. But John Tavares, around even money for under half of a point. Yeah, I think I'll take that as well. So give me that player prop in that game. Then let's maybe go to a playoff team who's playing a bottom-of-the-barrel non-playoff team. You got Colorado facing off against Chicago. These teams just played a couple days ago in Chicago. What I'm looking at here, Nathan MacKinnon on his own home ice. He obviously has that home point streak going. Obviously, all sorts of prices in this game are not worth it, but I am going to take the over 1.5 points for Nathan MacKinnon. And as you know, if he's on the ice at the end of the game, they will find a way to get him on the ice. Same thing you see with Kucherov to try to get him involved with an empty net goal. And Arturi Lehkonen, who's still playing with him on that top line. You saw how effective they could be against Dallas. If McKinnon's going over his 1.5 points, I think Lehkonen should be involved on something. So I'll take the over 1.5 points for Nathan MacKinnon, and I'll put that with the over half of a point for Arturi Lehkonen. That will give you a plus money parlay in that game. And if you want, you can throw the Colorado Avalanche. Maybe that will give you an extra, $5 on that parlay. But sometimes some of these websites, they give you boosts if you add a third leg or something. So if you need a third leg, you can do the MacKinnon over 1.5 points, the Lehkonen over half of a point, and the Colorado Avalanche to win. And then I guess if you need one last pick, or you just want to hear the sound effect, you ready? You got to bump it up. I'll do the under 6.5 in the Philadelphia-St. Louis game. Philadelphia, they need every point they can get. That feeling's starting to creep up that playoffs might be slipping through the cracks for them. But there is one way that they win these games, and it's playing good defense, the Tortorella style. And they have St. Louis going into their building. St. Louis can score some goals, but at least when you have home change against them, you can really try to defend against that top line of theirs. You know Hayes will be trying to get on the score sheet to, kind of stick it to Tortorella. But I will take the bump it up under 6.5 in that game if you wanted to pair it with anything else. Maybe I will go with the Hayes over shots on goal or something. Maybe they'll try to find him some extra ice time to stick it to Tortorella. We will see. But that's what I got for you on a Monday. Let's clean off the stench of last week and try to steer ourselves in the right direction now that we're in the beginning of March. As always, good luck to you. Better luck to me. If you want, I will try to post parlays for every game on the Patreon. You're not happy with me after last week, I will try to have a better week this week. And then please subscribe to, make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel here and click the notifications so you know when the latest videos are out. Every like, every comment, it helps spread these videos to more people and gain my appreciation if that's something you want. But, you can be a miserable prick, come here, collect picks, leave, and then that's about it. But You know, it takes a prick to know a prick, so I guess I got to look in the mirror every once in a while like the Candy Man. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take it easy.